Hello everyone, my name is Grethade here from 01gaming.com and newcastgaming.com. It is Friday, the end of the week, yes, and I have some gaming news. Before I dive into the news, I'm looking at the analytics from the GNH video I put up on Wednesday, which had the Hearthstone DLC mention and talked about the bad piggies. And what else did I talk about? I talked about one other thing. But anyways, I don't know what I did, but the fact that you guys have watched that video so many times, my mind's blown. I have no idea what the heck I did or what got your attention. I don't know if it was Terraria in the background. If it was just Terraria and you were looking for gameplay, I'm sorry, that's not what it was. I don't know what it was. I'm really, really sorry. If it was just because you happened to find gaming news and I was able to provide it, cool. And for the 1% that disliked me but didn't give me any feedback to why, thanks very much, jerk. Anyway, let's see what I found. So the first bit of news, an anonymous tip has kind of revealed that the next generation Xbox console could actually already be delayed before it was announced. According to a news site called Semi-Accurate, there is an anonymous tip that Microsoft is having manufacturing difficulties with the processor it's having in its next home console. The new processor, which is called Oben, is being manufactured by AMD, which is a change from where Microsoft has traditionally had the processors made, which is IBM. According to this anonymous source, those processors have been produced in mass quantities, which is meant for a final product, versus a small distribution, which is done for development purposes. These failed processors are so bad that the tests are actually failing, which will delay production and push the console back. According to those rumors, that means that we may not see a new Xbox till as early as September 2013. That's a whole nother year away, folks. A more recent analyst, Michael Patcher, stated that it's possible that the delay could push the Xbox back as far as 2014. If that's the case, Microsoft, that's 9 years since we have a new console, and I understand that a pushback because of hardware issues is an issue, but this probably means that you guys should have been on the ball a lot more than 7 years after your previous hardware was released. This is not a great way to handle the gaming community, and really it's a good way to push people into PC gaming, because that's the only way to get games with updated graphics and capabilities, because the Xbox 360, I'm sorry, just doesn't cut it anymore. Back in 2005 it did, not now. Next up, for the folks that are across the pond in the UK, you guys might find special interest in this. For my viewers that are stateside, I'm sorry, this is completely irrelevant to you. Although I find it interesting because of what we experienced with GameStop and with EB Games. So basically, if we remember back earlier this year, Game, which is the equivalent to GameStop over in the UK, went into administration, which is basically Chapter 11 bankruptcy, right? That's what we know it as stateside. Well, the new CEO, Martin Gibbs, told in a recent interview that they're currently researching to see if it would be more beneficial for Game and Gamestation to become one brand. If they do this, this would be a way to try to unify everything and put everything under one umbrella. He said, at the moment we are researching with our store teams and various different gamers sets across the UK to determine what they want from a specialist. It's obviously an enormous piece of work that we're going through, and we're nearing the end of it. We will have an answer very shortly, he added. Well, okay, interesting. Here's the thing. If they do what they did over here, there's a good chance that Gamestation will probably cease to exist. Game is the previous company that acquired Gamestation back in the day, and now they're looking at becoming one. Back on the stateside, we had GameStop, EB Games, two separate entities. GameStop finally decided that it was probably more beneficial for them to have it all under one brand. So everything's now GameStop. If you can find the EB Games, congratulations, because they don't exist anymore. It should be interesting to see what happens. It seems, reading through the comments, this is where I'm going to take a little bit of a different spin. Reading the comments from UK fans, it seems that the GameStation locations seem to be more popular as far as the customer service and such, but that could be just down to the actual store itself and the associates within said stores versus the actual brands. We'll have to keep an eye on this going into the holiday season. One last bit, as far as the experts in the stores, if it's anything like GameStop, I'm sorry, you're probably not the experts. The experts that work at gaming stores tend to be at the mom and pop shops, because those guys actually, they love their gaming. Let's be honest here. That's their life, right? Nah, I thought so. And the last bit of news, Final Fantasy fans everywhere can rejoice. Again! Yes, you get to do it again. I know we just did it a few weeks ago, but we get to do it again. In a recent interview in Famitsu magazine, Square Enix has revealed that Final Fantasy XIII is going to have yet another game added to its continuing sequels, this one being Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. This reintroduces players to, you guessed it, Lightning. The little bit of a difference to this is players will actually have solo control of Lightning. There will be no party groups like previous Final Fantasy XIII titles. Lightning Returns takes a different role yet again on how the game's mechanics are played. And to give an example, if Final Fantasy XIII is a story-driven game and Final Fantasy XIII-2 is a character-driven game, then Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII would be considered a world-driven game. Players will have to adjust to the different environments in the game, and characters have to adhere to their own schedules. This is kind of cool. So going into the mechanics, it talks a little bit about how the game starts 13 days before the end of the world. And in real time, each day is actually about 1 to 2 hours. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Decisions that you make in the game affect how fast it passes. That does mean that you can actually complete the game in under 13 hours. The reason that the game is actually so short is because the game is meant to be played multiple times, which increases its replay value. The different decisions will have an impact on how the world turns out. There's no release date yet announced for Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. However, it is expected in 2013 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. In the meantime, you're going to have to hold yourself over with Final Fantasy XIII 2. I'm sure a lot of you are going to be delighted with the ending of that game over and over again, right? And that will do it for me today. I will be back on Monday. Or will I? I don't know. I am in talks of having someone possibly do a fill-in video for me, but we shall see. In either case, I will most likely have some type of stream going on over the weekend over on my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/Grethade, which I'll probably do, who knows what, Terraria again. I'll maybe do how I bound my ladder, or whatever else. There's previous videos that show my desktop and my gaming library, and I'm all about sharing that with anyone else. As for this video, if you have any comments about it, whether it be positive or negative, please leave it in the comment section down below. That's that area where you can type things and tell me what you thought. I actually want to know what you guys thought. Critiquing is good. As long as it's constructive, I will take it. Please. If you liked my video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.